Every culture in the world has some variation of chicken noodle soup. I'm making one today called protoyiahni. Traditionally, it's made with rooster, that's kokoras in Greek, but I've got a plain old boiling chicken here because I want you to be able to do it at home, and rooster can sometimes be a little hard to find. We're gonna start with chopped red onion. I'm gonna cook this until it's soft, together with some chopped carrot. This is gonna take just a couple of minutes. It's all gonna cook together. It's gonna simmer together with the chicken and tomatoes and water, so it's gonna get nice and soft by the end. The garlic is going in. The chicken is going into the pot whole. And all the best flavor is in the bones. And in Greece, which is still pretty much an agrarian culture, people have a different understanding of how to cook meat. Oftentimes they associate the age of the animal, for example, with a type of cooking method. So we even have an expression for this. The old hen has the juice, which basically means it's the best meat to go into a pot for stew. The tomatoes are going in next. A little salt. A little bit of black pepper. And water. We want to get enough water in here to almost cover the chicken. This will start to simmer. It'll be falling off the bone by the time it's done, and I'm going to shred all that beautiful meat and put it back in. But now I want to build the flavor in the pot, and I'm doing that with allspice berries and a bay leaf. I like to add a little bit of thyme and a little fresh oregano in here. I'm just going to tie them together so that they're easier to fish out of the soup when the broth is done. I'm gonna cover it, leave the chicken to simmer in here for about an hour and a half. We'll see at the end, the meat will literally be falling off the bone, and that's exactly what we want. Wow. The first thing that comes to my nose is that beautiful perfume from the oregano and the thyme. We have to get the chicken out of the pot. Be a little careful when you do this. You see, totally falling off the bone. That's exactly what we want. And all that good flavor fell off into the soup. The chicken has to cool a bit. The bay leaf also comes out, and so does my little bunch of herbs here. I'm gonna get a little bit more salt in here. I want the broth to be a little bit thick, so I'm adding a little bit of tomato paste. And something a little surprising, just a touch of Greek honey. It's kind of a secret ingredient for me in a lot of recipes. I like that underlying sweetness. Just gonna stir this around. I'm gonna leave the broth to simmer just a little bit. I want all those flavors to develop as much as possible, and I'm gonna start shredding the chicken. You wanna be sure that there's no bone in the soup, and you can make the pieces as big or as small as you like. This is a very hearty chicken noodle soup. I got all this beautiful tender chicken off the bone. This can go, and the next step is to add the pasta. They're called hilopites, and they just take a couple of minutes to cook up. And as soon as the pasta is cooked, I'm gonna add the shredded chicken back in here and serve myself lunch. Do this carefully and slowly so it doesn't splatter. You can see this is a very, very hearty soup. Mixed together. Ready to serve this. I'm very happy to be eating this today because it's the ultimate comfort food. It smells really good. two finishing touches, just a little bit of local Messinian olive oil, just a touch. And this really interesting Greek grating cheese. It's actually a whey cheese, and it's called myzithra xeri, dried myzithra. And it's the traditional cheese we use in dishes like this, especially in the Peloponnese. This is ready to taste. This is the taste of every Greek home. It's welcoming and warming, and I can taste the garden outside, the oregano and the thyme, and I can see those roosters strutting around in the yard. All of that is in this soup. I like to pair my kokoras protoyiahni with a wine from the Amindeo region, and this is a combination of the Syrah grape and the Xinomavro grape. The rounded tannins, the vanilla, little woody tones in here. This is quite a sophisticated wine, but it goes beautifully with this rich, rustic chicken noodle soup. It's the perfect combination of tradition and innovation. Isi Hian, to your health.